So since the theme of our event is skills for the future, I'm here to talk about the cloud and the skills needed for a cloud-based future and job opportunities that are available for us for working in the tech industry because of the cloud. Okay. So next slide, please. Okay, so the agenda is, so we need to have a working definition of what is the cloud and what is it for us. Bakit sikat ang cloud? Para saan ginagamit ang cloud ng mga companies? Right? So why is it a big deal, especially in 2025? Real world usage of cloud in the real world, in-demand careers in cloud, and exploring, like, is a career in cloud for me, and how do we go there? How do we shift? So not really encouraging you to shift, but just in case, meron kayong backup skill at the back of your head. Next. So, cloud refers to compute, storage, or any related services, access over the internet. Okay, that's very just simplistic. What's the second definition? Instead of buying servers and related resources, you rent them. Very simple. So, for example, you have a project like web development, or you want to launch a website or a web application, e-commerce site. Noong unang panahon, like 20 years ago, you have to have your own data center. You have to buy the servers, racks. You have to ensure na hindi mamamatay yung power. You have to ensure the internet is doing well. Right? So that was 20 years ago, before the age of cloud. So now with cloud, instead of provisioning all of that, instead of creating your own data center, you just rent. So okay, I need 3 servers, siguro for 3 days now, then I can get it. So that's what the cloud is offering us: convenience and yung cost. So usually with building your own data center, it will be good, di ba? Cost a lot, right? Pagpapagawa mo pa lang ng building, di ba? And it's a long-term commitment. So 10-year contract, 20-year contract. So instead of, so you can think as, instead of buying your own power generator, you're just plugging in an electric grid. Next. But I've heard of that before, huh? Sir, narinig ko na yan. Parang, di ba yung dedicated server na parang mag-rent lang ako ng server, tapos babayaran ko yung isang hosting, shared hosting. No? So that was 10 years ago. Yung parang evolution naman natin ng computing. The problem with dedicated servers, it has fixed compute capacity. So sasabihin mo sa kanila na kailangan ko ng quad-core 16 gig na 100 gigabyte disk. Okay. Then you are tied within a contract. Pwedeng 1 year, pwedeng 1 month, pero you're tied to that. So kailangan mo ubusin yun, even if you just need your server for just 1 or 2 days. Right? And there's waiting time for provisioning. So, naghihintay ka ng konting time, once na nabili mo na yung dedicated server, then you can, if it's up and running, then you can use it, right? With cloud, you can instantly add or remove resources on demand. Yun yung major selling point ng cloud. And the payment is within 1 second of uptime. So if you use your server just for 3 hours, you get billed for 3 hours. Nothing more than this. So there's no binding contract, walang 1 month, 1 year contract. And the best thing about this is that resource creation and destruction can be scripted. It can be automated. So for example, I have an e-commerce site, and napapansin ko on December, ang taas ng usage, nung spike ng traffic. Come January, bababa na. I can create a script such that it detects the number of requests. Then it can auto-scale. Like, bababa yung number of servers mo pag January na. Tapos pagdating nung peak season, tataas na naman. It can be scripted. Right? Yeah. For example, again, meron akong machine learning model, I only need it for 4 to 6 hours. I can't train my machine learning model on my laptop. Di kaya ng laptop yun. So I just spawn an EC2 instance, run it for 6 hours, then hit it. I got billed for 6 hours. Nothing more than this. Next. So why is it a big deal in 2025? We see, the first cloud service that was released was in 2008. So it was AWS S3. So S3 is a storage service. So ilagay mo yung kahit ano sa S3, lalaki na lalaki yung bucket. Tapos kahit anong ilagay mo ng petabytes of data, you get billed by the number of gigabytes inside that bucket. So kung ayaw mo na mag-bill, you delete your stuff, you don't get billed anymore. So that's Amazon S3. It was created in 2008. Now, as we see in this graph, the demand for cloud computing is steadily increasing up to now. So there is huge market demand into the range of $157 billion in worldwide. That's worldwide. Next. So these are the top AWS vendors. So sa tatlong major cloud providers, Amazon Web Services is the thing that I know most because that's what I work on mostly. So we can see big names that use AWS. Yeah, of course we have heard of Sony, Adobe, Facebook, Netflix, and so these are heavy spenders on AWS and cloud. So they see the cost benefit of using cloud versus them creating their own data centers just to run their operations. Next. So Netflix runs its entire streaming service on AWS. So every time that you watch Netflix, underneath that is our Amazon Web Services. AWS services, running behind the scenes. Next. Airbnb relies on AWS services such as EC2. So EC2 yung compute, yung processing service ng AWS. S3, as mentioned, that was storage. EMR is Elastic MapReduce, which is the ETL sa mga may data pipelines dito sa mga data engineers. EMR is the offering of Amazon. So Airbnb uses AWS to save their listings and process all those booking. And analytics as well. Next. Pinterest scaled data ingestion from 500 gigabyte to 1.7 terabytes per day by migrating to AWS. So lumaki na yung data ingestion rate, bumaba pa yung cost nila by migrating to Amazon Web Services. So as you can see, these big companies see the value, the cost savings that they can gain by migrating to cloud instead of maintaining their own physical hardware. Thanks. So with that, syempre, we have these big cloud operations. We need people to operate these cloud infrastructure. So these are the in-demand careers in cloud. So these are the professions of the future. And we will go there one by one to see the skills needed to get in the cloud industry. Right. So next. Caveats, no? On position and salaries, these are just guidelines. May mga salary ako sinabi dito. Research ko siya sa Glassdoor. Yeah. So Glassdoor salaries are based on corporate rates in the Philippines. If you join a startup, you can receive a better offer. If you go with international remote work companies, mas malaki pa. So, pero again, guideline lang to. Because salary just depend on supply and demand. For example, may nag-resign na DevOps, kailangan na nila talaga kasi babagsak yung server pag walang DevOps. Pag nag-apply ka at the right moment at the right time, pwede mo i-jack up yung price mo, di ba? Kasi kailangan nila ng DevOps eh. So, minsan, timing. Minsan yung skill mo din sa negotiation. And seryoso, luck plays a very big role on your career, whether we want to admit it or not. So with that, all caveats out there, let's proceed. So a cloud developer is, so kung full stack developer, sino ba full stack developer, back-end developers? Python, Ruby Rails, C#. Ayun, isa doon. Okay. So if you're a full stack developer, a cloud developer is an extension. Right? So, mabibit-bit mo, you can carry all of your knowledge in backend development, just adapt it to the cloud. Although there are nuances, no? Kasi with cloud, you have to think of scaling, you have to think of security, you have to think of a lot of other things that you don't think of when just dealing with backend code, right? So you have to know the cloud fundamentals. Yung backend programming, bit mo na yan, you know that already. Systems programming, if you already know Bash or Python, you're good to go. The rest, you need to study that. Containers and virtualizations. Docker technology, have anyone heard of Docker? Yeah, Docker. So it will be a very good skill for a cloud developer. Serverless technologies. It's a totally different topic now. It's another technology that I'm very passionate about, pero I think this is not the right venue. So, next. Okay, so sa local, according to Glassdoor, the range is from 44,000 to 98,000. Although, if you go international, I've known real people getting 350,000. Kasi year na to, mga 10 years or more in programming, backend programming. Then he applied as a cloud developer, he got that. So, next. Cloud engineer. Ano naman to? So a cloud engineer is, so kung ang cloud developer, backend developer, extended to the cloud, cloud engineer as a network, systems engineer, sino dito? Network systems engineer. Okay. Extended to the cloud. Alright? So yung mga ginagawa dati sa systems engineering, ano yan? Transferable, knowledge transferable. You just have to study more on cloud fundamentals. Maraming hindi na applicable, like yung paggamit ng firewalls, it's really different now because of we're using security groups instead of like UFW sa Ubuntu and so on. But yeah, siguro 70% of your knowledge as network engineer can be carried out. You can carry it as a cloud engineer. Next. According to Glassdoor, the range is 37K to 92K. So a cloud solutions architect, so ito yung mga people that you go when you want something designed, like, sir, I need a cloud-based solution kasi gumagawa ko ng isang e-commerce e-commerce application that would scale North America and EMEA. And I don't want it to go down. I want 99.99% uptime. How do I do that with cloud? So that you go to a cloud solutions architect. A cloud solutions architect design and implement scalable solutions in the cloud, explore and communicate what can and cannot be technically feasible. Na parang, gusto ko ng e-commerce site na may ref, may washing machine. So sasabihin ng CTO, ng cloud solutions architect, no, that cannot be done. Right? So, siya rin yung taga-scope ng, so if you want this is the price. If you want this, it will be more expensive. So, yun yung communication that happens with the cloud solutions architect. These are the skills that you need to learn. Again, cloud fundamentals, laging kasama yan. Infrastructure as code. So basically what we do is, whenever we design something on the cloud, you write it as code as well, so that it will be easy to duplicate. Like, gusto ko siya i-duplicate sa Asia, madali siya i-duplicate sa North America, madali siya i-duplicate sa Europe region. So it's code. Yung mga prerequisites, you have to know Linux, OS, systems programming, and so on. Ayan. Next. Salary range according to Glassdoor is 103K to 208,000 per month. When I looked for remote work regarding solutions architect, it's limited kasi it's face-to-face. Usually, solutions architect talk to CTO or business owners or key stakeholders. So hindi mo siya ma-remote, hindi siya madaling ma-remote. So it's usually a physical role. Isa ko narinig, sabi-sabi, cloud solutions architect, usually sa Amazon, dito sa BGC. Pinapadala ka on a monthly basis sa iba't ibang bansa to talk to customers all over the world. So maybe that's one of the break of cloud solutions architect. Okay, DevOps engineer. A DevOps engineer, he's like a cloud engineer, but go more geared towards designing and building continuous integration. So parang pag nag-code si developer, pag nag-commit siya, paano yung code mo sa pipeline, dapat i-deploy siya ng ayos. So kapag nagawa ni DevOps yun, magaling siya. Kapag may failure na pagka-commit ni developer tapos may sumabog dito, so it's the fault of DevOps. Or pag nag-down yung system ng 2 AM, kino-cover na rin ni DevOps yun. Although on bigger companies, meron separate site reliability engineers. But on smaller companies, sagot ni DevOps yan. And so ano ang skills na kailangan kay DevOps? Aside from the given, mentioned before, so kailangan niya marunong Ansible, Kubernetes, Jenkins, minsan may companies na naghahanap ng Jenkins, minsan hindi mo kailangan. Ayan, so yun yung mga skills na kailangan to become a DevOps engineer. Next. Salary range locally, 44,000 to 130,000 depending on experience. Remote work, may tropa ako, nasa 300K siya. Although again, it's remote based, so UK-based yung client niya. That's why. Next. Okay, data engineer. Yung dalawang next careers, they are interesting because they are related to artificial intelligence. So we have data engineer and machine learning engineers. May intersection with AI. So as you may know, AI, at least the AI that we have now, the models like Claude or Gemini or what have you, or Copilot, they run on the cloud because for you to train models like that, you need immense resources. Hindi mo siya kaya i-train yung mga models na yan sa isang laptop. You need vast resources, and that is what the cloud provides. So a data engineer that works with AI needs to work with cloud just because they need immense computing power to do the training, right? So for a data engineer, you design pipelines to collect, clean, and transform data for AI or machine learning applications. So things to learn, Python, yan, kailangan yan. Pandas, Spark, Airflow, Cloud Fundamentals, again, kailangan yan. SQL, and data lakes. Salary range locally, 47,000 to 105,000. Next. Finally, machine learning engineer. So at the moment, ang pinakasikat na usage of AI is large language models, right? So again, Copilot, ChatGPT, Claude, Sonnet, and all that. Sometimes, those large language models is not enough for your company. So you need to build your own, right? So that's where machine learning engineer comes in, right? So if the existing models does not fit our needs, we will create our own models. So dyan pumapasok yun. So yung mga companies that's investing heavily on machine learning, so they are hiring machine learning engineers. Things to learn. So Python, Tensor, PyTorch, TensorFlow, PyTorch, SageMaker, a must for machine learning engineers. Probability and statistics. Kailangan ng maraming math sa machine learning engineer. Salary range, 31,000 to 84,000. Locally. Next. And so, exploring the cloud career, no? So, how do we shift or at least explore? Is a cloud career suited for me? So, build up your 3 C's. So, this is not just limited to tech, no? It's limited to any career. So, build your competency, connections, and communications. Next. So, the best way to learn cloud is to build real projects. Now, so, if you have in a company, there's a new project, a greenfield project, and feeling mo pwede cloud ito, why don't you go to your manager and ask, why don't we try it in the cloud? So, you can build your own project, grab the opportunity that's there. Or if not, kung wala opportunity that happens, you can build your passion side projects on the weekend. Right? Build your own cloud-based solution. Sa ngayon, it's very easy na. It's very easy to learn because of AI. So, sino dito ang gumagamit ng AI to learn new things? Yan. Okay. So, sa mga hindi pa, I really suggest you try it out. Kasi AI is getting a bad rap, especially sa schools na parang, instead of you doing the work, AI does the work. But you can do it the other way. You can treat AI as a learning buddy, right? You can ask questions like why, how. So nag-aaral ka Python, gano'n. Tapos, why is this syntax like this, right? Or this is how we do it in Ruby. How do we do it in Python? So parang you can feed AI. Now, this is what I learned. How can you explain to me based on what I learned? And so AI is a very good learning buddy. So I really highly suggest you try that. Next. Okay, where to learn? Ang daming YouTube courses, no? So type nyo lang how to start cloud. Dami lang. Pero if you're not happy with free and premium courses really has value. Kasi they're really focused, they're really clean, and they're really usap time for it. So, yung AWS mismo has what we call AWS Skill Builder. So, make search out free and paid courses hosted by AWS itself. Right? Sa Udemy, I highly suggest Stefan Marek. So, his courses are really top-notch when it comes to AWS. Tutorials Dojo. So, for AWS learning and certifications, highly suggested. Tapos, yung AWS ngayon, they're having a restart. It's a free 12-week training. So, plug ko na lang din. So, if anybody's interested with moving or shifting to the cloud, we have that. It's a free training. Next. So, try real projects. No? So, if you see that there's an opportunity within your department, wala pa palang website in department, no? So, you can create a website in S3 or in Lambda, or both. Use Amazon Cloud Development Kit and all that. Or you realize that you're losing files kasi may mga Word documents na nakakalat kung saan. So pwede kang gumawa ng scheduled job to back it all up in S3. Right? You can suggest it to your boss. Or meron kayong knowledge-based issue na yung knowledge sa company yung kalat-kalat. Meron sa Word, meron sa Confluence, meron sa GitLab, sa Jira. You can create an AI-powered department knowledge base. No? It will get all that knowledge, then use an LLM like Bedrock to respond. Okay, what is our status? What is our procedure for onboarding new people? Yeah. Tapos hahanapin ni AI yung mga relevant documents sa lahat ng sinabi mo, then you will learn it. Okay, so day 1, the person should do this. Day 2, do this, etc. Yeah. So these are some real-world projects you can try out using cloud. Next. And if you really want to, if you want to try it out, the major cloud providers offer free tiers for 12 months. And so AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure, you can sign up and get 1 year free. Pero yan, limited yung services. Like, yung EC2 instance, ganito lang kaya yung gamitin. But it's enough for you to learn. Once you learn, you get the hang of it, you got the hang of it, yan, pwede ka na mag-upgrade to premium. Yung Tutorials Dojo, meron yung Play Cloud. Like when you sign up, there's a guided tour, guided labs on how to do stuff on the cloud. You can try that. Next. You can pursue certifications, right? Do certifications matter? Depends on who you ask, no? Personally, certifications, it gets you noticed. Like, meron kang si HR manager, may 20 na application for cloud engineers. At yung isa, may AWS certified DevOps engineer professional. Diba? Sino pipiliin? Parang, it's one of your alas, one of your weapons. Kasi it's a very tough market today, and you should use all of your advantages. If you have a certificate, go use it. Gets you more convincing powers. Well, for me, naman, it can give you a structured and broad approach to learning the cloud. Kasi when you try to apply for or to get a certification, meron guidelines on what to study. Then you can use that as a structured pathway. Okay, pag napasa ko to, alam ko yung basics. So, with your certificate, you have to back it up with real-world competence. Hindi pwedeng, may certificate ako, I'm an AWS god. That's not true. So, getting the certificate is just step number 1. So, once you get in the company, you have to prove yourself. Next. Okay, connections. Your dream cloud role, if you're thinking about it, it's one handshake away. So, one easy way to do this, so kung top performer ka, tapos kayo ni boss, close kayo ni boss, you can just go to your engine manager and ask, di ba? Are there cloud roles available to you? Or meron ba tayong issues, or meron ba tayong projects na may kinalaman sa cloud, pwede bang assign mo sa akin? Ayun, that worked for me a couple of times before. So it really depends on your relationship with your engine manager. You can also meet with fellow cloud enthusiasts within your company. Volunteer within the company, perfect way to gain experience volunteering. Cross-pollination, explore what other companies are using. So it's good to meet up with cloud professionals, with other companies, so that you get their ideas, then apply it to your own company. Next. So here are some local communities that you can join. I'm a member of AWS Users Group Philippines, very active. Also with Data Engineering Pilipinas, member din ako dyan, very active community. We meet every 4 months, every year. Ganun. Yung AWS, meron silang group specially made for women, AWS UG Build Earth. Yeah. Tapos meron isa, developers na runners pa, Control Alt Run. So hindi na, na-miss out ko itong event na to. Pero may group na nag-i-exist na group na runners and developers. So if you're a runner, you can check it out. We have Google developer groups, DevCon Philippines, and Women Code Manila. Yeah. Facebook groups, lahat sila may Facebook groups, so you can check them out later. Next. And communications. So without not being very crass and upfront, you can let the organization know what value you can bring to the table. Simple lang. So, document your contributions, keep a public online documentation of current cloud skill sets. This will come later kapag kailangan may convince yung boss ko na try cloud natin to. Siyempre, yung question niya, can you do it? Diba? So, meron kang bala if ever dumating na sa point. Yeah. Next. Oh, yun naman na. Thank you so much for listening to me. You can add me up in LinkedIn.
Alright, thanks Sir Artie. We'll have you back later for the roundtable discussion or question and answer. So that was a very powerful session, guys, right? That has given us a motivation on what's out in the market, how we can be more relevant, as well as the money involved.